That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? You know, when James Gunn started to talk about all the projects that he was looking at doing as a part of this brand new DCU, one of the names that got floated out there was Booster Gold. Now, it wasn't an official announcement or anything like that, but Booster Gold is out there. It's still not officially announced, but they are now making real progress on trying to see if they can develop something, because Deadline is now reporting that Booster Gold, HBO Max series, progressing with a pilot written by Our Flag Means Death creator David Jenkins. And they go on to write the following. Here's a big one that just in time for San Diego Comic-Con. HBO Max is progressing with its Booster Gold TV series and has attached Our Flag Means Death creator David Jenkins to write the pilot. If taken to series, we understand the plan is for Jenkins to then become the showrunner. Coming off of back-to-back landmark Emmy nomination days for The Penguin, Booster Gold could therefore become one of Warner Brothers Discovery's next big DC Comics TV adaptations. All right, first of all, I never finished Our Flag Means Death. I don't know why, because all the episodes I watched, I liked.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I didn't finish it, but I never finished it. But everybody I know who watched it loves that show.
It's great.
I've not talked to a single person say, yeah, I watched it. No. And I haven't talked to a ton of people that watched it, but everybody I know that watched it absolutely loved it. When you understand the character of Booster Gold, like let's say we were talking about, I don't know, let's pull a name out. Let's say KG Beast. I always go to KG Beast.
Right.
And let's say Max was doing a KG Beast series. And then they announced the guy who did Our Flag Means Death is going to write and possibly showrun it. That would be interesting. But you say the guy who did Our Flag Means Death is doing Booster Gold. That goes from just being interesting to being, that sounds wild, if you understand the Booster Gold character. Depending on how James Gunn wants to approach the character and wants him to come across. But, I mean, how could you do Booster Gold any other way? Which then re-elevates the question about, well, what about Blue Beetle? Because a lot of people want to see Booster Gold and Blue Beetle together. But anyway, let's stick on this. Look, I always prefer projects to be movies. That's always my number one preference. There are a few exceptions to that. But that being said, if you had asked me just 5 years ago, and I think I might have said this before, do I really see Booster Gold being a reliable, palatable, a real tangible character you can bring to the screen in a live action environment? I would have had my doubts. But seeing how this James Gunn DCU is unfolding and seeing who they're going after as talent, I mean, it's hard not to get kind of excited about this. Anyway, Rob, you see this news. What's your reaction to this?
I bought Booster Gold 1 off the newsstand, and I loved it. I thought it was great. Again, it came out in that era where the comedic Justice League comic from the mid-'80s had come out, which I loved, which James Gunn has clearly taken a lot from. And so, look, again, it comes down to tone. This could descend into ridiculousness, and I wouldn't like it. There you go. I wouldn't like it as much. But with the tone of Our Flag Means Death,
oh my God,
I come on. I mean, it's like, this is like the perfect showrunner to do this, and I for one, I hope this happens. I really do, because boy, this could be great.
What is Booster Gold and Peacemaker and what's his name? The
Guy Gardner
in one room look like?
I would pay to see that, and his android flying companion Skeets, his AI. I think it'd be great. This just really excites me. Although I will say this. A lot of comedy happening in this new DC universe. I think they need to, maybe the Clayface will counteract that.
Well, so why am I freezing on the name of the guy who wrote Clayface? Haunting
Flanagan, Mike Flanagan. But then he was like rewritten too or something.
But James Gunn did an interview after that saying, "Oh no, this is still Flanagan's script.
Oh, okay,
this is absolutely still like they put a couple of touches on. He said this is 100% Mike Flanagan's script. So you got Mike Flanagan writing it, and James Gunn already saying, "Oh no, like every DC project, he said, will be its own unique thing.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
tie together, but they're not all going to have the same tone. And he went on to really emphasize that, you know, the Clayface movie is absolutely going to be a body horror film in the vein of the recent Demi Moore
The Substance.
Substance, right?
Yeah, if you go that route, I'm in. Count me in.
With Mike Flanagan writing the
Yeah.
script.
Yeah.
And, you know, here's the thing, too. I like that James Gunn said that. I want all the films to be diverse. I think that Supergirl is going to be very distinct from Superman.
Yes.
Especially if it's based on Woman of Tomorrow. But at the end of the day, for me, and I know everybody's different, and I'm only speaking for myself, all I really care about is if you entertain me. And if you put something in front of me that is constantly, and that's tough to do, but is constantly the quality level of Superman and constantly the quality level of Peacemaker, 3 years from now, I'll be very satisfied, even if there wasn't a lot of diversity in tone. But I do prefer the fact that they're going with in the realm of diversity in tone, which, by the way, does bring us back to Peacemaker for a second. I am getting more and more excited about that. And they just said there is a major tie-in between, and it's not just the cameo of the Justice Gang, but there's a major tie-in between Superman and Peacemaker. And I'm very anxious to see how that all works out. I am loving this new DCU so far. We'll see how it goes. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. You know, it feels like workplace stress is higher than ever these days. And I was just reading that about 61% of the global workforce is dealing with above normal levels of stress. And honestly, it's not surprising. When you're stuck in endless Zoom meetings, juggling deadlines, or just trying to keep your head above water, it adds up. Now, sure, a quick vacation sounds nice, but let's be real. It's not a long-term fix. What's helped me is building small wellness habits. For me, it's things like getting outside in the sun for a few minutes or squeezing in a brisk walk during breaks. But for a lot of people, sometimes that's just not enough, and that's where therapy can really help. BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform with over 30,000 therapists who've already helped over 5 million people worldwide. Their app is super convenient. You can meet with a therapist with just a click, and if it's not the right fit, you can switch therapists anytime. And just listen to the user reviews. The BetterHelp app has a 4.9 out of 5 from over 1.7 million reviews. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Unwind from work with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Campea. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Campea. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? It sounds like while it is not an official announcement, they are moving forward with trying to develop this Booster Gold, and they've apparently got the showrunner they want on board now with the guy from Our Flag Means Death. Do you like this idea? Are there other heroes you want to come see first? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.